Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Sorry it's been a while since I posted a video. Life has been a little busy and crazy for me. My daughter started school about 2 weeks ago and I've been busy hard at work at my writing desk, working on my latest novels, fixing up a few other side projects here and there, and just life in general. For this video, I wanted to talk a little bit more about why I became a writer. Someone this week asked me, when they found out that I was a writer, what inspired me, what got me into writing in the first place. Thinking on that question, you could always say that I've always enjoyed writing to a degree. As my past videos have explained, reading and writing wasn't always my strongest subject, but the one thing that I enjoyed more than anything was telling stories. As a kid, I constantly told stories, left and right. I constantly made up stories and just had a wonderful time creating imaginations. I just had this crazy imagination, you could say. And I just started developing from there to having a wonderful and active imagination to what to do with this creative and active imagination. So, starting in high school, I started writing down some of my stories because as I'm getting more into reading and understanding words and other stuff, like my other video mentions, I struggled for the longest time to learn to read. Reading was not fun for me. In fact, growing up, I would memorize the stories so I wouldn't have to read the words. So, stories, I love stories, but reading was just a nightmare for me. But I always loved storytelling. I always loved telling stories. And again, somewhere in high school, it dawned on me that these books and stories that I'm writing are coming from others' imaginations. They're coming from someone else's mind, minds that are similar to mine. And so I started looking into more authors and looking into them and their life and seeing that me and some of these authors that I looked up to, like Mark Twain, James Barrie, Walt Disney, even, had similar backgrounds and stories like me and had a unique mind like myself. And so I just started wondering, well, what can I do with my creative mind? What can I do with my imagination? And in high school, it dawned on me, start writing these stories down. These stories keep coming to me on a whim. I can make up a story. I can create wonderful stories on a whim. And it wasn't until in high school that it dawned on me, let's write these stories down because maybe someday somebody would like to read these stories. Maybe one day these stories will inspire others like I was inspired by stories. And so I started in high school writing a little stories here and there. And then my masterpiece came to my mind. The story that I want to share with the world one day. I was a senior in high school, and my amazing story finally came to my mind. And I started working hard on that story. And in time, how do I put this? You could say that because in as a senior in high school, I was diagnosed with my CRPS, which I've hinted a little bit here and there throughout my videos and throughout other resources and other stories. Like, again, I've mentioned this in one of my videos. My short story of the adventure I had with my raccoon talks a lot about my chronic regional pain syndrome in my left leg. And being a senior in high school, graduating, thinking, okay, I have my whole life ahead of me. I'm going to go to college. I have this idea of what my life is going to be like. And then I get diagnosed with this, and my life was forever changed. It's like, what do I do now? What can I do now? I'm very limited on physical labor due to my chronic regional pain syndrome. And the one thing that kept coming back to my mind was, I can write. I can write. The pain will not affect me and my passion for writing. So I started sitting down at my desk and started writing and writing and writing, and I created my masterpiece. And as you've seen in my other videos and other media sources and other places, that so many frowned upon my first masterpiece, my first work, and thus started the long pursuit of trying to find that one book that everybody is going to love, that one book that people are going to fall in love with and get to know me a little better through my stories, and that one story that will help inspire people to say, you know what? I want to read whatever this guy writes, because this guy writes from the heart. He is writing with passion. So you could say that's how I got into the writing business, was because of my CRPS. I wanted to do a lot of other things. I wanted to explore the world. I wanted to do so much. But my pain in my left leg limited my mobility, limited me on doing a lot of things that I would love to do. But the one thing it would never limit me is my imagination, is my creativity, and my passion for writing and telling stories. And that's why I started really writing stories and started writing with all my heart and soul. Because I know that one day, very soon, everybody's going to want to read my stories. People are wanting adventure. People are wanting excitement. They want fantasy in their life. And I can offer them that through my books, through my novels, especially in today's world. That's another reason why I continue to write and continue to pursue my passion of writing and creating these remarkable stories, these remarkable tales, is because we're living in a world today where media is being too lenient on certain things. They're not focusing on what it means to be a true storyteller. In my opinion, everyone is focusing on what's going to make the most profit, what's going to be the next big seller. They're not looking into the heart of the stories anymore. In my opinion, in today's media, a lot of storytelling has just become too lazy. And that's why I know people are going to love my stories, because I give 110% to every story that I write. I dive into history, I dive into culture, I do a lot of research. I want my stories to almost feel like they are real. That if you are traveling into a whole new world, and I know that people can tell that. When people read my books, when people read my stories, they can tell that there's a lot of heart in these stories. There's a lot of symbolism. There is a lot of soul in these stories. It's not just something that I just whipped up on a whim saying, here, this will be the next bestseller because it has all this popular thing that's going on. Oh, here's vampires. Vampires are very popular these days. Here's a story about vampires, and boom, it's going to be a next big seller because all it has is vampires in it. Nope, that's not what I do. I write what I feel. I write what comes to my mind. I address certain topics, yes, here and there, especially certain worldly topics that are happening in today's day and age. I hint about them in my stories. I learn and grow from my experiences and seeing what's going on in the world. And I use a little of that in my stories to help educate, to help enlighten, and help uplift people. But I always do it from the heart. I'm not doing it because, oh, vampires are the next big hit, so I'm going to write a vampire story because that's what is selling right now. If I write a vampire story and it happens to be in an era where vampires are really hit, it's just because that story came to my mind during that period of time. It's not my personal agenda to go with the times, go with the flow, and say, oh, this is what's hot right now, so I'm going to write about what's hot right now. Nope. I write from the heart. I write with real intent, and I can tell my readers will one day see that. So, in short, this is one of the reasons why I continue to write. I got into writing because it's one of the only things that I can do nowadays with all my health problems and all these things that keep happening to me. But it's also one of my greatest passions. It's one of my greatest joys. And I'm hoping that I can bring joy and excitement to all my readers and help them to have an escape so that they can escape this crazy world that we live in and have a wonderful adventure, have a wonderful world of their own that they can escape to and have the time of their lives. A story that is written for them and from the heart. Not just an agenda, not to just check all these boxes, but a story told from the heart so that people can be inspired, can follow their dreams, can follow their passions. Because I found my passion and dream through writing and telling these stories. And that's one of my hopes, is that all my readers and all my fans will one day follow their dreams, follow their passions. And all of their dreams and passions can come true, just like my dreams and passions are coming true. So, I think that's it for now. I don't know when I'll make another video. Like I said, I've been quite busy working hard to bring my stories to life. That way you guys have that escape. So, until next time, look out for my books, look out for my stories, and I hope you enjoy them. Have a great day. See you later.